John Bell Williams Airport.
Automated weather observation 125 Zulu. Wind 180 at 3 knots. Visibility 9. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature missing. Dew point missing. Altimeter 2998 inches of mercury. Remarks density altitude missing.
Carlton moved into this hangar next to us. You know, he had kept his plane out there at Woodbridge, the one building the Bearhawk.
Cool.
Now he's our hangar neighbor.
Automated weather observation 130 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 9.
I don't know if that guy's taxiing into the ramp or he's taxiing to the end of the runway. So with the addition of the data, chart data, now you've got sectional charts. Zoom in on sectional data. Kind of nice. Pretty cool.
A lot shorter than I thought it would be to fly to New Orleans.
Yep, only an hour.
Is there any policy or rule or guideline that says if the wind is calm or insignificant, take off and land to the north or something like that?
Yep, they call it the calm wind runway. And usually what it means is for some other consideration, a housing development off one side of the runway or, you know, something like that, that when possible, you know, avoid that area. Usually it'll be published in the chart supplement or the airport facility guide.
Okay.
A lot of times there'll be, you know, like a local notice at the airport advising pilots of, you know, what the noise abatement procedure is, what the calm wind runway is. Sometimes that stuff doesn't get published as readily. So like in this case, the winds are calm. So we could take off the direction that we're heading. You know, like we're going to follow this guy because he's kind of set the traffic pattern already. We could wait for him to be gone and then we could flip it. But it's probably easier just to kind of go with it. However, we're going to be taking off directly into the sun, which, you know, is not good for visibility, collision avoidance, and it's just uncomfortable. So if this guy would have been thinking about it, he could have said, you know what, the wind is calm, it's variable, so the windsock, you know, the fact that it's pointing a little bit this way doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I'm going to go the other way and make it easy on myself, not staring into the sun. But the Airman's Information Manual talks about, you know, if you come to an airport and there's a traffic pattern already in place, that you could fall into the traffic pattern.
Raymond traffic. Cherokee 44193, departing Raymond 12. Raymond traffic.
All right, our temps are looking good. I'm going to let this guy get out of the way and do our run-up. I think we'll be about ready to go. All right, run-up seems normal. Canopy lock, trim, switches, radio, transponder. Engine temps are good, oil temps good. Flaps are set. Fuel valve is on. And that's our checklist.
All right.
Order takeoff checklist. I need to go back and revise the order.
So it's more of a flow across.
Yeah, it just took me a little bit to kind of figure out that there was a natural flow to it. So that checklist doesn't exactly reflect that flow. It's got like the fuel valve on first and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, I think we're ready to go. Double check your seatbelt. Raymond traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, departing 12, Raymond.
I'm ready.
Raymond traffic. Cherokee 44193, departing Raymond to the north. Raymond traffic.
All right, mixture rich, kick back, throttle coming up.
Caution.
Airspeed's alive. A little bit of forward stick. All right, jump the flaps. There's a yellow Cub, looks like, coming in.
I see him.
I think he's doing reconnaissance on us. We might need to follow him. Raymond traffic, Sonic 604, Charlie Mike, departing the pattern to the southwest, Raymond.
The Cub says, hey, wait a minute, I'm to the southwest.
If he doesn't have a radio, he's fat, dumb, and happy.
Traffic.
Hopefully all this zigzagging isn't clearing turns.
Yeah. He's never going to catch us. Of course, we are doing 155.
Traffic.
I don't think so. Yeah, I lost him. He's back there somewhere, but I don't know. Oh, there he is. He's right behind us. All right. Trying to get on our tails, what he's trying to do. There he is. Got him in sight.
There.
Traffic.
Wish I knew what frequency he was on. Figure out what he's doing.
Yeah. Got another one out here.
Alright, so the engine is pretty well unwound now. We're holding constant. 3250 RPM. 173, 174. That's about it. Slow it down. Oil temp and oil pressure are starting to react a little bit. Fuel flow is high. I was sucking the juice. But, I mean, that's the difference. Full throttle versus normal cruise, 20 miles an hour. I'd like to get a little bit closer to that in cruise. A little more prop. All right. You want to fly for a little bit? We're not going to stay out long. Maybe another 10 minutes.
Sure.
All right, you got it.
So, what's the difference in range if you fly everywhere full throttle?
Well, we could do the math. You have to calculate, your miles per gallon, basically, if you want range. So you take your speed divided by your fuel flow, and you'll get miles per gallon. And you'll find that a slower...
Oh, there's a crop duster right below us.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't notice him.
Yeah. Let's go a little this way. We got to kind of head back towards the airport anyway, so just kind of turn us south and maybe back around the other way. And anyway, generally the faster you go, the more drag and the less efficiency you'll get out of the plane. And so your miles per gallon will go down a little bit. But depending on the characteristics of the airplane, it may be a little bit or maybe a lot. So every plane, you're going to have a sweet spot where speed is still pretty good and efficiency is still pretty good. Maybe not the max efficiency, because that's usually uncomfortably slow. Nobody wants to go anywhere that slow. But you get a pretty efficient speed at a pretty efficient fuel burn.
Pretty hazy today.
Yeah. In the Sonics, that speed is about 100 miles an hour, which is way too slow. Yeah, looking into the sun, visibility is worse too.
Yeah.
Looking the other way, it wasn't too bad.
We're only like 10 miles away and I can't even see it.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, that's that crop duster airfield right there. Let's get away from there. Let's go a little more south. That's probably where he took off from. You can see it in the grass right there.
I saw it.
Let's go over by that little pond over there. Okay, watch your rudder. See your slip ball? Kind of drag. This airplane needs just a very little bit of rudder, and so it's easy to overdo it. Okay. Especially coming out of the glider or the Challenger. Alright, let's do a circle around that pond. Okay. Not really a turn around a point, it's more about a kind of like just a loose circle around it.
Raymond Williams Field, 16 Kilo Romeo approaching from the southwest. I'll be entering a 45 for a left downwind for runway 30, full stop landing. Raymond traffic.
I feel like I want to mess with him now. Negative, the field is closed to hit boxes and people named Paul. Remain clear. Okay, look at your slip ball here. You can feel it. It's a bit out of whack. Okay, my airplane. Got it. So when you're in a turn, just like normal, you're going to need a little bit as you maneuver. As you deflect the ailerons, you're going to need a little bit of rudder to coordinate. And then you're going to bring it out a lot quicker than in most other airplanes. And then it's just going to need just a touch to kind of hold it where it needs to be. I mean, I literally have just a touch. If I take all the rudder out, see how it moves out a little bit? Yeah. You can feel it. We're kind of leaning onto this side. If I coordinate it, now we're kind of centered. And if I overdo it, you feel your weight shifting to the outside. That's that whole seat of the pants idea, is that you can feel it as you're kind of shifting your weight side to side. So a little bit to go in, and then just a touch to hold it. And you can kind of just dart back and confirm whether you're applying the right amount. Same thing, if we're rolling the other way, need a little bit as we deflect, and then just a little bit to hold it.
Raymond traffic.
And if we overdo it,
16 Kilo Romeo entering left downwind for runway 30. Full stop running, Raymond.
Okay.
Williams.
Okay. All right, your airplane.
I got it.
All right, see this square field here? Uh-huh. I want you to fly a rectangular pattern around that field. You can go right over the edge or just outside of it or whatever, but use that as your guidelines.
Okay.
And you don't need to make like sharp, snappy turns, just when you get to it and then turn. It's a small field, but it'll be fine. Just stay a little bit outside.
16 Kilo Romeo running base leg.
Feel that little bump?
30,
That was our wake, we just flew back through.
Traffic.
That means you're holding altitude well.
Raymond traffic 16 Kilo Romeo, final approach runway 30, full stop landing, Raymond Williams.
The problem with being in this airplane, with being right on top of your point, is that you can't see it now.
Yeah.
So, alright, my airplane.
You got it.
I'm going to demonstrate. So we're going to just stay away a little bit, so I can see the field. And I'm just going to be kind of watching my distance. Oh, I turned it a little early. I'm going to end up right over the end of it.
Raymond Williams, 16 Kilo Romeo, clear the end runway.
Okay. Seem like a plan?
Alright.
Alright, you got it. You're flying. good roads out here. Turn this way a little and look down here. Looking for a good landmark to do a cloverleaf, but I really don't see one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to do that some other place. This is not cloverleaf territory.
Not like Colorado where there's dirt roads everywhere.
Yeah. Alright, so let's do this. Turn us to the south so that you're flying due south. Okay. Although we don't have a real good visual landmark, we'll just use the cardinal heading on the compass. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to smoothly roll in to a 30-degree bank, right or left. Hold your altitude. You're at, call it 2,500, and do a 360. And be kind of watching your references, watching your compass, and about 10, 15 degrees early, you start rolling out, so you roll right back out on south.
Okay.
Okay? Go ahead and try one, right or left.
Okay.
Hold your altitude. 30-degree bank is that little long tick, and then these edges are 30 degrees. So when that's parallel to the horizon, you're at 30 degrees. Okay, then you got to modulate your back pressure so you're not climbing or descending. Now you're holding steady now, but initially you kind of popped up a little bit. Right. Good. And we got a traffic ghost. See that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe that's the guy that was here earlier. Okay, well, I think it's time to head over to the airport.
Okay.
So, it's over here, so let's head on back towards the airport. Go down to 1,800 feet. There he is, showing up on the... It should be up there someplace.
Something like this, we can enter on a 45, and then turn base and final.
That's fine, yeah. Good. So we got to go down 1,000 feet. So, we got plenty of distance. We're 10 miles out. We got plenty of time to descend. But, you got a choice to make on how you want to descend. If you're trying to hold a certain airspeed, just jamming the nose down is going to cause us to accelerate, and so we're gonna go faster. If that's not what you want, then you probably ought to do something about it. You got to pull a little power off, and that way you can descend without speeding up.
Okay.
If you don't care about your airspeed, and in fact you want a little extra airspeed, then just lowering the nose and getting a little extra speed, is acceptable. Or you could do some combination. Lower the nose, pick up a little bit of speed, pull a little bit of power off to, so you don't pick up too much speed. But you really just got to start it by thinking about, what am I trying to accomplish?
Okay.
You might be making an approach that relies on you going a certain speed.
Uh-huh.
Air traffic control might be telling you, maintain, whatever. So there's no right or wrong answer in the absolute. But you really want to just think about what you want to accomplish.
Okay.
Niner, 8 inches of mercury, remarks, density altitude, missing.
John Bell Williams Airport.
Automated weather observation, 1338 Zulu. Wind, 260 at 5 knots. Visibility, more than 10.
260 at 5, which means we're going to be landing the opposite way we took off. We're on 30.
Okay.
Which is good. That's away from the sun. I like that anyway.
So should we kind of curve around so we can do a 45, or can we?
Yeah, we
turn
can
on
go
the
that
way?
way a little bit. Oh, I heard he was 5 miles from someplace. You don't need to do too much, just a little bit to kind of aim at the edge of the airport, and that way you can come in on a 45. See the runway out there?
Yeah.
So we're aiming right at the very edge, so maybe a little bit more will put us on a perfect track. And we don't want to go up anymore because we got to get down to pattern altitude of 1200. So you kind of started pulling us back up.
Yeah.
Raymond traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, 5 miles southwest. We'll be entering on a 45 for downwind 30 Raymond. So now we're getting a little close, and we want to, control our speed. So now we don't really want to go so fast. So I'm just going to pull a little bit of power back. That'll help us start getting slowed down for the pattern anyway. Let it come on down. We got to come down to 12. Okay, then visualize the 45, and when you intercept the 45, just roll right in on it. Our 45 wants to hit a midfield, maybe a little bit behind midfield to give us time to get into the pattern and all that. You got to kind of visualize that extended center line. And don't turn early, otherwise when you're on a 45, you're going to be aiming at the approach end.
Okay. I don't see anyone in the pattern.
Okay, go ahead and turn us downwind. Raymond traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, downwind 30, full stop Raymond.
Raymond, John Bell Williams, Skyline 262 is on taxiway. We'll be departing runway 30, Raymond, John Bell Williams.
All right, I'll take it from here.
All right, you got it.
So now we're abeam our touchdown point, but we're still way too fast. I can't even put flaps down. So we should have slowed down a little bit earlier, maybe aimed a little bit further back to give us more time to get configured. Now I got to extend my downwind so I can just get into flap speed. And that's part of the art of planning your approach. Now this is nothing critical, you know, it's not unrecoverable. We don't have to do a go-around. But, you know, that whole good landing, good approach thing, we want to set ourselves up for success and make it as easy as possible.
Okay. Smells kind of like unburnt fuel.
Yeah.
Is that just because we're at a low RPM?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably still a bit rich. Raymond traffic, Sonic 604 Charlie Mike, on final 30, full stop, Raymond.
Wow, we're can really slow down. That guy was taxiing. Oh.
Survey crew.
That's what they were doing.
Thought they were going to roll right onto the runway. Sonics is clear, 30, Raymond.
Amazing how a good paint job can make an airplane stand out.
Yeah.
That plane stands out a lot from all of these kind of standard paint job ones.
Right, yeah.
Looks good too. That's Paul's Kit Fox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes till the meeting.